start every single video with, okay, so, that's the stupidest thing. Today we're going to talk about a topic that's been trending for several days. At first I avoided it, and then I made a video about it, but the sound quality wasn't that good, so now I'm going to redo it. Talking about police shootings. Very controversial topic. Specifically the shootings in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Tulsa, is it Tulsa, Texas, or Tulsa, Oklahoma? I forget, somewhere out west. Anyway, and me being a moderate, I have to fight both sides. I have to fight the people on one extreme saying that the police are always right. The only people that they shoot are people that are committing crimes and not obeying orders, so therefore if you get shot by police or they rough you up, you deserved it because they only do it to people who do things wrong. I have to fight them on one side, then I have to fight the Black Lives Matter people on the other side, on the extreme on the other side, that support every single black person that got shot by police no matter what the circumstances. Even if they had a gun, refuse to put it down, the police are like, put the gun down now, just repeatedly telling him to put the gun down, and he doesn't. Then they shoot him in self-defense. They will still support that guy to the death. And it's like, what do you expect the police to do? Just get shot so then they don't shoot a black person to avoid being racist? Or you expect them not to shoot the black guy on purpose, so then, you know, there's one less black person getting shot by police every year, so make it less racist, you know, because they always say that police are racist. So I have to fight them on both sides. Sometimes it's a real drag being a moderate and being stuck in the middle and having to fight both sides, because at least if you're on the one side of the spectrum, you only have one other side to fight, and that is the opposing side, you know. So basically police versus Black Lives Matter, if you want to summarize it down to one sentence. But I'm in the middle, I have to fight both sides. Some police shootings are justified. If a black person or any person is shooting at police, you know, trying to get away from a bank robbery, or, you know, they kidnap someone and they're trying to get away or something, if you're shooting at police, the police have the right to shoot you. Just because you're black doesn't mean that they should, oh, no, can't shoot him. We'll just let him go and we'll get him some other time without trying to shoot him. I mean, come on. That's what it seems Black Lives Matter expect the police to do. And some police shootings are entirely not justified. There are plenty of police videos that I see where the guy is doing absolutely nothing fucking wrong at all. And sometimes he's doing exactly what the police tell him to do. They're like, got my hands up, I have no weapons on me, I'm just doing this, bam, shoot him, dead. You know, so that's the bottom line. The summary of this video in one sentence, there are some police shootings that are justified, and there's some that are not. It is not a black and white issue. It is not all one side is correct and all one side is not correct. No, it's fucking not. This country is way too big, there are way too many police departments, there are way too many shootings for it to always be the same thing every single time. Some people lie in these police instances. They say, oh, he didn't have a gun when he did. They said, I was complying with all police orders when he wasn't. So yes, some people lie. Some police officers lie. That I just want upper class white people to admit that. Usually the people defending police officers to the death are upper class white people who have had no negative experiences with police, and therefore they think their experience defines the whole world, and therefore the police officer is always right, and that's why they always defend them. It's like, no, they have been proven instances of the police lying about cases. There have been instances of police planting evidence, either drugs or weapons, on suspects or dead suspects or in their cars or whatever, and then framing them for it. Police framing. It is a real thing. It happens all the time in this country. It doesn't happen every single time, but it does happen very often. I just want people to admit that. You just have to admit certain things. You can still say that, like, let's hypothetically, the shooting in North Carolina was justified. You can say that. But that doesn't contradict the fact that sometimes police lie. The two are not mutually exclusive things. It's not all one thing or the other. Therefore, if some police lie, which have already established that fact, you just look it up. Just Google instances of police lying, and you will get hundreds of examples. but people still refuse them. They refuse to do a Google search because they know the results they find will contradict their narrative. And what I remember I said about liberal narratives, it's not just liberals who do it. Radical liberals and radical conservatives still refuse to admit facts because they'll contradict their narrative. So statist or police supporters, 100% of the time, they will not do that Google search because they don't want to see the results. It'll contradict their narrative. That's all you have to do. All you have to do to see that some police lie. Not all police lie. Many police tell the truth. Many lie. I can personally attest to the fact that some police lie. I'll just pull a random example. It's not even that serious, but it's just the first one that came in my head because it was actually kind of shocking. Me and my brothers were down at Newport News, and we were just walking around the mall, and we saw this little black kid. He was like, I don't know, 10 or 11. Looking scared, and this big white police officer was just following him, menacing him, yelling at him, you know, what the hell is going on? And the little kid said, I lost my mom, can I borrow your cell phone to call my mom? And I'm thinking to myself, this little kid, he's like 10 or 11, he's very small, he lost his mom, and you as a police officer are supposed to be protecting the public. He was incoherent. He was just like, these kids causing trouble, man. He's just doing all this stuff, you know, get up in the kid's face, and the kid barely got to his waistline. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? You know, as soon as the white police officer saw us talking to the kid, he's like, oh, I need backup. The guy just got 3 more people coming to his aid. He's got 3 more people coming as backup. I need backup too. And I'm just thinking to myself, we don't even know this kid. We're not his backup. We just saw him, and he asked us a question, so we're answering his question. Like, what the fuck? Like, he talked into his radio. Outright lie. We are not his backup. We are not his thugs coming to this kid's aid, you know, to ambush this police officer like he was making it out to be. So he outright lied right into his radio, saying that the kid just got 3 more guys as backup, so I need backup. You know, and of course, I didn't say anything to the police officer, because unlike what some Black Lives Matter protesters say, it's not only black parents that tell their kids, always speak respectable to police officers, always do what they say. You know, people act like black people are the only people that have to do that to avoid their kids getting shot by police. It's like, no, my mom and dad told me that too. Hispanic parents tell their kids to. All races tell their kids to be respectful of police officers because all races have the potential to get shot if you mouth off to the police or don't say what they do what they say. So I didn't say anything to the police officer. I was just incredulous that this guy flat out lied right to I guess whoever he was talking to on the radio. And like, there are many other instances where I've seen police lie straight to my fucking face. I know it's an outright lie. So I know that if I have encountered police that lie, then that happens other places. So we've already established that police lie. So therefore it is logical in some situations to not trust the police. I just want to hear people who suck the police's cock all the fucking time to fucking admit that. Not to say that you should never trust the police ever in any situation. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there is a potential, since police are human beings, they have the potential to lie. They have incentive to lie. They have a rational, logical reason to lie because people overwhelmingly support the police over a regular citizen doing the exact same thing. If an armed citizen just walked up to a guy and shot him and said, oh yeah, I fear for my life, that's why I shot him, he would still be arrested for murder. If there were no signs of him actually being a threat, he would be arrested. No, police, 9 times out of 10, he'll get suspended with pay and then they'll find him not guilty. The police know that. They have incentive to lie in certain situations to get themselves off the hook. When a police officer plants a gun on a dead suspect and said, nope, he had a gun, 9 times out of 10, the media and the people will believe him without question. That's all I'm saying. The police have been proven to lie in the past. They have a rational, logical reason to lie, so therefore it is rational and logical to assume that the police may lie in some cases. They are not perfect angels. Police brutality is a major issue in this country. I will agree with Black Lives Matter in that fact that police brutality is an issue. They think it's a race issue. I think it is a class issue with racial aspects. And what do I mean by that? The overwhelming majority of the people shot by police or that are bullied by police, given citations for stupid fucking shit, are poor people. Now, lots of black people are poor, so therefore that would be the reason, I would guess, as to why percentage-wise more black people are shot than any other race. But the thing that unites everyone shot by the police across racial lines is that they are poor. So I think it's a class issue. The police know they can get away with bullying poor people. They know they cannot get away with bullying Will Smith's son, for example, even though he's black. Most people shot and killed by police are not upper class. So yes, it has a racial element to the fact that more blacks, by percentage-wise, are shot by police than whites, but just flat-out numbers-wise, a lot more whites are shot by police, and the fact that black males specifically, black males are 7% of the population, they commit 50% of the violent crimes in this country. That's not a racist thing. All I'm saying is, look, I'm just looking at the data. You can infer your own conclusions from that data, but all I'm saying is that's the data. That's why I think they go after black males more often, because they overwhelmingly commit more crime, more violent crime. Okay? So that's why I think it is a class issue with racial aspects to it. It's primarily a class thing. Us poor people, we're bothered by police all the fucking time. Our rights are being taken away by our government. The police are the ones that enforce those actions of taking away our rights. Like when a person is denied right to bear arms because he's accidentally put in a no-fly list, guess who is the gun, the boot, that enforces that? The police. They're the ones that are carrying out all of these unconstitutional assaults on our rights, and they don't care. They have loyalty to the state, not to the country. They have loyalty to the government, not to the idea of America, and that's why they have no problem breaking our rights if their higher up tells them to. It's a 1% issue. So when blacks say police brutality is a black issue, like, no. All people of all races are shot and brutalized by police. All people across the board have their rights taken away by police. People on the police side have some good points. But they're wrong on some other points. There are people on the Black Lives Matter or the anti-police. I'm using these quotations because they don't really have defined names or groups that I'm just calling them so you know what they are. They have some good points, but also wrong on some issues. And the two sides are never going to see eye to eye. That's why you see the comments on these news articles about these things. These two people can look at the exact same video, the exact same fucking video of police footage, and come to two wildly different conclusions. I'm thinking to myself, if you guys can't even agree on whether a guy moved his hand in a certain direction when you're seeing the exact same fucking video, then how the fucking hell are you guys going to unite and actually solve the problem of police brutality? Well, some people on the police side deny there's a police brutality problem in the first place. Well, if you deny the problem, then how are you going to fucking fix it? The upper class have mostly positive interactions with the police, if not all positive interactions with the police, so they think, oh, since it's this way for me, it must be this way for everyone, unless you commit a crime. They lack the ability to empathize, they lack the ability to understand someone else's point of view, to put themselves in a poor man's shoes who is dirt fucking poor, and look at it from their perspective. They cannot. They physically, or I guess mentally, they mentally lack that ability. I've never had a problem with it. When a black person says the police are violating my rights, they're killing us, I can say, yeah, the police kill lots of white and Hispanic people, and they violate my rights too. Now, you may differ on exactly how much they go after a certain race, that's what I'm talking about. But the fact is, both of our races have been shot and killed by police in unjust circumstances. So yes, I can empathize with you when you accuse the police of doing these things. Upper class, mostly white, not all white, but just upper class people in general, lack that ability. There's some upper class people that see through the media bullshit and they can actually empathize with people, but unfortunately most of my interactions with people, they lack the ability to see from their shoe, from other people's point of view. They just cannot do it at all. They think their experience is to find the whole world. They think the whole world is their gated community, and then where they just go to run errands and go work. They think that's the whole world. And I'm like, a police department acts way different in Hollywood, for example, versus downtown Baltimore. But they can't figure that out. In conclusion, empathize. Know what it's look at it from other people's perspective. Listen to their stories and figure out your conclusion from yourself. Your own experience is not define the whole world. My experience is not define the whole world. I know that lots of police officers do honest, good job in defending their communities. They're honest to good, hardworking people that are not racist at all. But I know that some of them aren't because my experiences have shown otherwise.